Okay, everybody, it's Dave, and today is all about day 2 exercises in home using tubes. And we're going to be doing the chest, which we call pecs, and triceps. So interestingly enough, your chest is actually, it has 3 different sections to it, or striations in a sense. The top one, the very top, is called the clavicular head, clavicle, clavicular, collarbone, yeah. Then the middle aspect and the lower aspect, all of them are hit at different angles in your exercises. And then we're also working the triceps. Again, the back of the arm, tricep meaning 3. There's 3 different heads on there, okay, that we're going to be working, the lateral, the medial, the inside part of it also. So what I did today, just to expedite for you so I can spend more time talking to you. By the way, I never thought I was a big talker. Really not. I'm a pretty quiet person. But all my friends are saying, dude, you never shut up anymore. As soon as you started doing these videos, I've never heard you talk this much in my life. So what I did to expedite is I put one of the grommet hooks here, and there's another one I already have up here, and I put another one down here just so that I could transition instead of having to take this and move it down and move it up and open the door and shut the door, right? So here we go. So to hit generally, the overall, the chest itself, even though there's 3 different aspects, right, is a standard press. So when you get yourself set up, what we're going to need you to do is, I want you to step out with one foot. So I know you can't really see my feet, right, but here my legs are together, and I'm going to lean forward and step out. So I can lean forward and keep tension in that band, because it's going to be very hard to do it if you're upright. It'll keep pulling you back, yeah? So you have to lean into it. You keep your posture, right? Draw your stomach in, and I'm going to swing towards you for a minute so you can see this. Your hands should not be out here or down here or up here, or they should be close in, elbows close in, hands basically right in front of your shoulders. They'll be a little lower than your shoulder, but right in front of your shoulders. So now I'll come back here, yeah? So from here, I'm going to exhale and push straight out. So yes, I'm going to tell you right now that bands, especially doing chest, you have to get used to the bands kind of rubbing on your skin. So it makes sense to wear a t-shirt or something so that you're not rubbing it on your skin, because it just kind of gets a little, it's a little annoying. Now what you can do is, I can take these and just turn them in, right? I'm still holding on as I was, but now the buckle's to the inside. So now when I press, it's not touching my arms, but it is kind of rubbing on my lats. So it's just something you just get used to. It's not a big deal. Some people go, oh, I hate the way it feels. Get over it. It's not a big deal. All right, so here we are. Hands in, elbows in, exhale, press, inhale, return, right? So I'm going to turn towards you. You can see this. Exhale, press straight out. So it's straight out in front of me, roughly shoulder height. Yeah? And then I bring them back. So I'm dropping my elbows. Notice my hands are basically staying the same height the whole time. If they're down a little, it's okay. But you don't want them up here, not yet anyhow, yeah? Exhale, press, inhale, return, yeah? So the next thing we want to do then is we want to hit the upper chest, and then we want to hit the lower chest also. You can decide usually which ones you want to do first. Usually you'll do the standard height right here for the overall working of the pecs, yeah? And then you'll go upper chest and lower chest. Yeah, so what you'll do now for upper chest is you can either lower this a little bit, or because I have this grommet in here, I'm going to come in and just put a tubing in. And so now we're going to do what's called an incline press. So if you go to a gym, you'll have incline benches. So they're benches, instead of being flat that you lay on, they'll have an incline. So you'll be laying in this position and pressing your barbell or your dumbbell up in this position. So notice the angle of my arm to my torso, yeah? Whereas before we were pressing straight out this way, now we want it to come up to this angle. And because we're at this angle, it's going to hit that upper clavicular head, right? So what we can do for that is I put the cable down low. And then that way now I can push directly into that line of pull and push straight up. So notice my arms are up on that angle. and then I bring them straight down. So I'll turn towards camera. Same thing. Hands are basically right in front of my shoulders, elbows in. Exhale, press up. Notice I'm pressing up and in front of me. I'm not up above my head. That's a shoulder press. It has to come down so that you're out here in front of your face. Okay? Again, that would be normal. This is upper chest. Inhale, exhale. You're still leaning, drawing in. All right? And then from there, you want to hit the lower aspect also, because you want a really nice formed chest, whether you're a guy or a girl, by the way. Because listen, it's important to understand that, hey, hold on, let me get rid of this little message here. Okay, so it's important to understand that whether you're a guy or a girl, it's important to have good symmetry, and believe it or not, women understand this, right? You want lift, right? Well, guys, we need lift too, because you'll notice that as we get older, the muscle atrophies, right? So the more toned the muscle, the more stable the chest. It sits higher up on the chest, or I should say more stable the pec is. It sits higher up on the chest instead of dropping down. So men and women, we want to develop the full chest and the pec, but we really want to work that upper head because that actually adds that lift at the same time. And it creates, working the chest creates a more full look because of the amount of muscle that's on the chest. So that's important, yeah? So then the last thing we want to do is we would come high and put your cable in. Now this is actually really light, but it's okay. I'm just showing you what you got to do, yeah? So then from here, to work the lower aspect of the chest, this sweep right through here, we want to go in this downward angle. So elbows are still in, hands are in front of the shoulders still, a little lower, and now we're pressing down. And we're pressing down, yeah? So I'm going to turn towards the camera so you can see this. So I'm here, exhaling and pressing down. Inhale back. Exhale, press down. Right? And this is going to force you to keep your chest up. So you're really getting a really tight squeeze. And then back up. So those are your presses for using tubing. Now there's other things that you can do too, where you can get really creative and you can do push-ups with these, so you would get a smaller band, or you can come in and tie a knot in your tubing if you're willing to do that. Usually you can get the knots out pretty well unless you've had them in there for a long time. So you put a knot in the tubing to shorten it up, which is going to make it harder. You can put it around you, and you can do, if you're on the floor, or if you're, let's say this is the floor, you can do your push-ups with that, and it adds more tension, yeah? You can actually do a regular chest press just from here, but it's better to have it in a door if you ask me. That's just my feeling. Okay, so that's the way that works. Now, those are the basics. Upper, middle, lower, right? Middle is straight out. Upper is driving upward. Lower is downward. Okay, now those are presses. Now the other thing we want to show you is flies. So what we call chest flies. And the way we do that is you're going to use lighter bands for this, but you're going to still hit all three angles, upper, middle, and lower, by using those same positions. But the fly itself is the same. So to hit the upper chest, that clavicular head, remember the angle? The angle is always up this way, yeah? So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to start low, and we're going to keep a slight bend in our elbows. Not a big bend, just a slight bend. And we're going to scoop up in front of us, and I'll turn towards camera in a minute, but look at the angle that I'm ending up at. And then inhale on the way back. Scoop up. And what I like to do is, I'm going to turn towards camera now. And what I like to do is, here I am at the side, chest up, elbows slightly bent. I scoop until my fingers, my pinkies come up basically and touch. And I'm making a V. Can you see the V? And what I'm doing is I'm putting my nose right in the bottom of that V. And then inhale on the way back, exhale and scoop, inhale on the way back. I know it doesn't look like that's in front of my nose, but believe it or not, it is. Exhale and scoop, inhale. And it's the angle, that upward angle, that's hitting that upper chest. Okay? So then, from there, we can come in and work the overall aspect of the entire chest. Yeah? And so now we come back to this position. Here our press was level. Now we're going to do a fly. Arms out, slight bend in the elbows. Exhale and squeeze. Inhale. Exhale and squeeze. Inhale. Exhale and squeeze. You're squeezing your chest, so you're trying to squeeze that muscle. Inhale. And then from there, we want to hit the lower aspect also. So now remember, we got to go high. I'll just use this one here. So now we're here. So what are we going to do, right? We're going to scoop low. So from here, we start high, but we're scooping low. Inhale, scoop low. So I'm going to turn towards camera. Here I am. Inhale, the arms come up, and then I scoop down. Notice my hands are below my chest slightly. Inhale, exhale, scoop and squeeze. I'm squeezing the chest. You'll feel it. Exhale, squeeze. So we call these flies because think of a bird flying. Their wings, right? So when they fly, the bird's wings are extended. They're not bent in and they're not doing this. They're out here. So we want that not locked out elbow, but a slight bend in the elbow. And then opening, exhaling and squeezing. Middle, open, exhale and squeeze. Upper, starting low, open, exhale, make that V and squeeze. So my nose is sitting right in that V with my arms extended. Now be careful, because a lot of times what people end up doing is they start with their arms with a nice bend, just a little bend. And by the time they get up here, they've done this. They end up like this, and you're basically just doing a bicep curl. So we're not trying to work your biceps. Arm stays at that exact angle the whole time, all the way down, all the way up. Even here, all the way down, all the way up. It stays at that angle. If we're doing lower, we're starting up here with a slight bend in the elbow, and it stays at that slight bend here, just a tiny bend. Squeezing the chest muscles, okay? So that's plenty right there. Now you can get more creative, but I would tell you that that's plenty. Okay? You have upper, middle, lower. You have presses for each one, and you have flies for each one. Okay? Good. All right, so now we're going to move into triceps. Remember that you've already, if you're grouping these two together, which is a good thing to do, you're pushing motion, your triceps are already now going to be just a tiny, tiny bit, hold on, I'm going to get rid of this little message, is going to be just a tiny, tiny bit fatigued from doing that, okay? So what we can do now is you can set this up. Again, this is a little light, but it's just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to do what's classically considered a tricep rope extension. So a lot of times at the gym you have cables to do this with, but you're up high, okay? You're going to come in, chest up, arms glued to the side, upper arms glued, just like with your bicep curls, the upper arm was glued to the side. Now we're doing a tricep and the upper arm is glued to the side. Keep your posture, lean forward a little bit, shoulders back, chest up, exhale and squeeze, inhale, return. Exhale and squeeze, inhale and return. Make sure when you exhale, you're straightening the elbow all the way back. So you're getting a big squeeze in that tricep. Now make sure you keep your chest up. Now make sure you don't do this. Don't be rounding your body. Don't be rounding your shoulders. You want to open your chest up. So notice when I push down, I'm actually opening my chest up. Open and squeeze. Open and squeeze. So that'll help you maintain posture. Open and squeeze. Yeah? So that's the first one. What you can do from there is, I'll just show you a couple different varieties. You can step out and do what we call an overhead tricep rope extension. Elbows in tight. I want to keep my elbows above my eyes. So from here, I'm just going to extend straight out. Notice that my elbows stay high. I don't let my elbows do this. I want to keep my elbows up. bend and straighten, bend and straighten. All right? So those are 2 ways to work that. And then what you can do is keeping it high. This was our original position. Now what we can do is we can turn our hands. So now we're going to work that middle head of the tricep by just changing the position of my hands. It's the same exact movement, but because I went from this position to this position, it changes the rotation. And it works that middle head a lot more. Same exact movement though. Chest up, drawing the stomach in, all the way down, squeeze it, all the way back. All the way down, squeeze it, all the way back. Okay? Other things that you can do is, I'll take this out, and same basic movements, but you can just stand on this. So I know, again, you can't see my feet, but I'll find the middle of that with both my feet. Just stand. I'm putting it right in my arch. And then bring it up overhead, all the way up, and back down. So this is that overhead cable extension, all the way up, back down. Really squeezing that, yeah? All the way up and back down. So there's more tricep for you. Many other ways that you can arrange this, but really it's that extension. Keep your hand here, rotate it here. Find different positions you can put it at, but that's really what you're doing when you're doing tricep extensions. Now there's certainly other things you can do where you can make it more challenging. But I don't think at this point that you need to be going into that because we're talking about a home workout right now. By the time you learn these, you'll start seeing other things that I'll have shown you that you can incorporate with your tubing. So this is all just about tubing for now. That's what I want you to stick to. Start integrating this in. So yesterday we did lats and biceps. Today we did chest and triceps. Our next workout that we're going to do is your legs. But before that, tomorrow's video is our unconditional joy video. So make sure that you're here for that. It's going to be in the gym, in the studio, and it's going to be how I incorporate it into my actual workout. So you're going to see how I do unconditional joy during my workout. Because you got to have fun during your workout, right? But you got to kind of be serious when you're doing your exercise. But there's those little rest periods in between which you can just jam pack with unconditional joy. So I'll show you. I'll show you how I do that and jam pack my rest period with unconditional joy. And then again, the day after that, we're doing legs. And then the final day, video number 6, is about shoulders. So working your shoulders. So today was all about, if I can get away with saying this, it's about sexy arms and triceps and a sexy chest. I don't know, does that work for you? Can I actually say that and not get in trouble? I hope I can, because it's just meant with a big open heart. Okay, so until tomorrow, I love you guys. I love your guts. Take good care. Okay, go and try this. Bye.